Hi, this is Diamond King 139. Welcome back. It's been a while, and as everyone knows, I haven't been consistent. I haven't been consistent enough on my posts. I haven't been consistent in my content. But those posts are of the past. Those posts were my old self. Those live streams were a part of me, but the only side that I would let you see. Senior year of high school, I was faced with a challenge. Not of this world, but one that involved me testing who I was. And during this process came with a lot of ache, a lot of anger, a lot of sadness, really. I haven't really released any information about this publicly. First time talking about it to really outside of anyone who believes in this stuff. I'm not going to give her real name out, but let's say she had more than one spirit in her, and she let them take control. She was sensitive. So, senior year, I was trying to get it all figured out. I was trying to do what I needed. But then this spirit, it wasn't a dark one. It was one that knew it needed to be around for a test. It was one, even though sometimes I wish I never encountered it, you could have called it a dark spirit because how it's acting. It was someone, I assume, who lost their power, their inner power, so then took it out on others. I learned how to get rid of it. It took me a few tries. I was finally able to get rid of it. And for me, there was a lot of mental recovery involved from that. Still goes on and on. And I learned a few things. I learned how to use different tools. I learned how to use different items. I learned how to use them for both good and bad. But when I came together, the power became good. The best way to explain this, I've had a few altars. I'm not what you would call your stereotype person. I'm not looking at politics. I'm not looking, at least not on purpose. I'm not looking at what's going on today. I'm focused on what is now. Little did I know, I'll be learning a lot about occultism, a lot about how to different topics. Hermits, a lot about alchemists. And what each one of those titles, as I say, they all had their own power. They all had their own free will. But me, still live with my parents. How unfortunate. Do I want to be here? Well, no, not really. But is it my only choice? Yes, it's my only choice. So I'm going to go over one of the tools today. I'm going to focus on the element of fire, inner power. Because you're going to be hearing that a lot as I continue. The dagger represents the element of fire. It's made to conjure and banish spirits. You can do so with the LBRP or the LBRI, the Lesser Banishing Ritual of the Pentagram, or LIRP, I should say, or the Lesser Invoking Ritual of the Pentagram. So, if you don't know what those are a few occultic, modern rituals that a lot of people have their own variation of. So, just keep that in mind for the rest of today. Fire represents inner strength, inner power, inner will, what you're willing to do. So, my first year, got my altar set up. I was just new to learning, so I was learning invocation, banishing, and conjuring. I was learning the basic steps. I know some people might have already clicked off by now, but keep on with me in this one. So, my first 2 years I spent learning basic to advanced magic, even divination. I learned different forms, but I learned to lean away from the cards, away from the tools, because I feel like I never needed them. It was just always with me. So, as time went on, time and time, I kept learning about occultism. And then my second altar got destroyed. It was to Cernunnos and Hecate, but my first altar was dedicated to Hecate, and then I had one dedicated to a different form, which I won't get to today because it's a pretty popular topic, but I'll get to it on a separate channel, as mentioned. So, I was learning. Then second year, my parents, again, took down all my altars, all my candles, all my crystals, all of it. There was few that were left behind that second time. Some of those had more valuable memories than others. And finally, at that point, I was like, okay, this is a sign from the spirits. This is a sign from the law. that transformation, well, change is getting ready to happen. I was aware that I needed a change. So then I went to the Norse. I was between Norse and Celtic for a little bit because I wasn't sure the difference. But if you don't know the difference between the Celtic and the Norse, or the Celtic, heck, I'm going to mention their shamans. The Celtic have the Druids. The Norse have the Seers and the Sami. I think Sami could be between, but Seers were everywhere, so for them to have as much information was a big deal. They were very well welcomed into the Norse community. As history goes, they did not support what they ended up doing during that time with Thor. So, Thor, Odin, Freya, Thor was given human offerings, and yeah, the Seers did not support that. They were, even though it could have seemed like they were numb to it, they did not like it. They were considered outcasts. The ones who couldn't see were said to have a stronger power and seeing things the unseen. You'll notice I'm not looking at the camera. I'm not looking at the audience. I'm trying to see as I go what to say, what to do. Usually I'm in all black, but I'm out of all black today. At least the clean ones. I'm all out of the clean ones. So I'm in blue. And then I built my third altar, which was when my parents, and after my parents moving things up in my room, and then really not without letting me know, which I'll get to a little bit more on that later. So that was my second year complete. My third year, I already got the book. I already got the lessons that I've been taught. I've already learned how to conjure, how to manifest, how to destroy, how to do all these things, how to set your intentions. Because remember, in witch, sorcery, magic, it's all about intention and what your intention is. I know I might be told to remove this video later, but it's going up no matter what you say. But it's all about lesson. I know this is much longer than it needs to be because I do currently work with these things as well. And then there's tools I haven't used in a while. I will say about right before each passing I could feel it. I've blown a horn, not gonna say which one, to honor the deceased. It's to help them be put to rest. So each time I've done this, 2 or 3 days later, or even that same day, someone ended up passing. It's like a banshee in demonology. It only happens when someone's close to dying. So, as I learned that ability, I've learned different ways to do it. To manifest it. I've learned how to control it in a way, how to do it. I never fully learned that ability. But when I feel a disturbing presence, that's when I know. So let's get to now. What am I, and which part of what you could say practice is, or religion I'm in? I am a Nordic seer. I work on the seer's right, which means I can see things that you usually cannot be able to see with your naked eye. I'm not going to get to the chakra system. I'm not going to get into that. The Norse, we call it the Havel. So that, the spelling is weird, but that's how you pronounce it. So, time and time and time goes on and on and on. And the last time, this time around when my altar was torn down, I started reflecting a little bit. Yeah, I was mad. I was definitely mad because it's stuff that I paid for, and by constitution, it's not lawful for stuff like that to happen. If the law says if you're 18 and up, your parents cannot throw your stuff away. It's not lawful. But I thought about it. It's like, okay. Hey, I was thinking through this out on the 4th of July, which is the Day of Independence, the Day of Freedom. And we've seen how our country's been. We've seen how other countries have been. It's not just America. It's coming from a shamanic perspective. We're all sleeping. Just to put it that way. Ones who aren't sleeping are the ones with results. The ones who are sleeping are staying where they are now. They're staying in lower class grade. But the ones who get power hungry unintentionally will start to fall slowly. I will mention that now. Because if we move to ethics, what is ethical? What isn't ethical? Well, how touching someone else's objects without their permission is considered unethical. Let me explain. Paying more. It's like touching someone's window and breaking it. And you have to pay for it. And they're not doing anything to help you. They're shattering your window, and it's going to cost about $1,000 to replace that window. That's how ethics work. It works like the shattered glass. It's like something, and you're touching something and it's contaminating it. And really, that's all I have to say about it. it goes with the same energy. If you're not willing to shake someone's hand, you're not willing to share your own energy. Um, he, and then, as I was seeking throughout the day, I saw Fenrir, which I looked him up the day before, and he was the one to symbolize Ragnarok, the one who broke free from those chains of Ragnarok and destroyed Asgard and destroyed all the gods. He was the semblance of change and transformation and rebirth, tearing apart his old self and making them new. That's what he symbolizes. So, as I was seeing Fenrir, as I saw him, I knew what he was saying. I knew that was the only way he could reach out to me. Even though he's a symbol of chaos and destruction as well, we're going to stick to transformation and rebirth. He knew what I knew. He knew what everyone else knew. It was like him telling me, you represent, this represents for you to break your chains that you have had put on you by others, parents, friends, family. The list goes on. And in all honesty, I do agree with Fenrir. That power that's held within, it's strong. I could have spent this entire video complaining, but I spent it explaining to you what my past 3 years have been. This is almost my first year as a shaman, as a staff carrier. We do carry staffs, but we don't use them for typical practice. They help us connect, but we do not use them for the most part. We will use them occasionally, but we don't really use them all that much from what I'm gathering. They're a great travel tool. You can collect things that you had on it. So it is a great piece to have. So I was even looking at my power animal. If you don't know what a power animal is, which I doubt you will, it is an animal that resides with you in spirit. So, spirit animal that belongs to you. That's what we talk about a lot in witching and Norse as well. So that's where the familiars come into play on that part. And Fenrir knows how to talk. Had conversations with him, I've traveled with him, and he travels with me. So whatever journey I need to go on next, it will be away from social media. That leads up to this. On this YouTube channel, Diamond King 139, there will not be any more videos. There will not be any more posts. And if you are wanting more videos up here, they will not be posted here. All my other videos will be posted on separate channels. I do run a coven. It's an online coven, not in person. Some of you might disagree with online covens and say it's a scam or whatever you may buy. I'm a part of a separate coven. I'm not going to name this coven, and but I would recommend it if you want to chat with me privately. Depends on who you are. If you're someone that doesn't agree with this stuff or has no interest in it, I will not share. I will know right away what your intentions are, just because we put intentions into everything we do. If you have a good ideology and you want to learn, I will share with you in private. I've been able to learn a lot from mentors I've had over the past few months. I'm not going to get into all the people who I've been talking to. I'm not going to get into all of that. That's a little bit too detailed for a summary. So, last thing. From here on, if anyone comments an unethical approach, not asking questions and just assuming things, and you're saying very, what you could call very Christian-like stuff, that we get quite a bit, actually. Part of the reason why we're so stubborn is because of the Christian religion. And I'm reaching into here. And really, to the Norse, to the pagans, Christians are a downbringer because of what they do. So Christians are talked a lot. They don't know our perspective. They don't know what we see. And then when you take their objects away and you throw them away, it makes it worse on you. It reaches out to people pretty quick when you do something like that. You would be surprised how many things I've done. I've seen how quick, especially Satanists, they are very quick to post something about Christians that was not ethical. I've seen it. I do see that. As Facebook goes, I will be starting to post different content on there. I do not have my parents on Facebook anymore. You'll notice that my friends list has changed. Some of you I do not keep up with anymore. Some of you I don't want ties to, just for ethical reasons. So really, I'm open to questions, but I'm not open to hate. that's just to sum it up. I might resource you as well if I can't answer the question perfectly, or to the full extent of what I know. Okay. Some of you might be like, what? What? You're doing that to me? You leave me a question mark? I am leaving you with a question mark, but I want to leave a question with you. Are you going to unfriend someone who you don't agree with? Or are you going to stay and see how things go? As it comes to personal practices, I will keep those personal and to myself. But when it comes to public practice, it will be shown. So, make sure, if you enjoyed this, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Some people might not leave me because they don't want to, but I will confirm this is the final video. My entire Diamond King 139 channel. I thought about posting more gacha art, but no. It's the last video. If I do make any more gacha art, it would be on what's happening for the next 3 years. Okay. I'll see you next video. Well, no. On a different channel. Bye.